Hi, and thanks for watching. Today we're going to talk about what are the components that make up blood. Now, before learning what makes up blood, we should know what blood is. So, blood is that red liquid that circulates throughout our bodies through our blood vessels. Examples, veins, arteries, and our heart pumps blood throughout the rest of our body. Blood transports oxygen, nutrients, and carries carbon dioxide away. So its main function is to act like a transport system. For example, the heart pumps blood to our lungs and then to the rest of our body. When it does that, it carries the oxygen to the living tissues and then scoops up the carbon dioxide to be taken out of our body. However, blood also plays important roles in our body's defense against infection. So what are the components that make up blood? Well, there are red blood cells that are also known as erythrocytes. There are white blood cells, which are also known as leukocytes. There are platelets, and there's plasma. As you can see in the diagram, the red blood cells are those red disc-like shaped figures. The platelets are these tiny little globs. The white blood cells is this huge white circular figure. And then the plasma is actually the liquid that is in between all of those components. So, what are red blood cells? Well, red blood cells are these large microscopic cells that do not contain a nucleus. As you can see in the diagram, there are these red disc-like shaped with like the indenture in the middle. They contain a hemoglobin gas transporting protein, and each cell has many iron-rich hemoglobin molecules. Red blood cells' main function is to transport oxygen from the lungs to the rest of living tissue and then carry the carbon dioxide away. They have this red color due to the oxygenated cells that they are carrying, and red blood cells make up around 95% of blood. So, what are white blood cells? White blood cells make up a very small portion of blood, around 1%, and they're not limited to blood. They also occur in the spleen, liver, and lymph glands. The way I see white blood cells are like soldiers in an army. They go out and are the first responders in our body's line of defense. They bind to alien proteins that are hidden in between bacteria, fungus, and viruses, and then they destroy them so they can be removed from our body. White blood cells are also mainly produced in bone marrow, but they can be also produced in the thymus gland, and that's located in the back of your neck. As you can see in the diagram, the white blood cells are these really round looking ball things that are hidden in between the red blood cells. What are platelets? So platelets are basically pinched off fragments of cells, and they also don't contain a nucleus. What's cool about platelets is they work with blood clotting chemicals at the site of wounds. So as you can see in the diagram, there are these spongy-like things. So like when you get a cut on your finger, platelets are the first things to go right to that spot to help clot it so you don't bleed out. Platelets basically stimulate the immune system and are about 1/3 the size of red blood cells. Platelets are activation is at peak in the morning. That's why heart attacks usually occur in the morning too. However, platelets have also been found to fight infections by releasing proteins that kill invading bacteria and other microorganisms. What is plasma? So plasma is this yellowish tinted water. It's made up of 92% water, sugar, fat, and protein solution that actually carries the red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. So, like I said earlier in the diagram before, plasma is the liquid that flows in between all of the red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. And plasma makes up around 55% of our blood. Plasma brings nourishment to blood and removes waste products from metabolism. So as you can see in the diagram, it's this yellowish tinted water. And in fact, plasma is mostly just water. So, how much of each component makes up blood? Well, as you can tell, if you took a vial of your blood and then you dyed each different parts of your blood, this is what would come up. Plasma makes up a lot of your blood, as you can see in the yellow. White blood cells make up a little bit, tiny of it. Platelets make up just a little bit. And then red blood cells has the other large amount of your blood. Well, looks like we have covered what makes up your blood. I hope this helped you learn more about each component of blood. Thanks for watching.